对。 performance. 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 Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
Welcome, curling fans across Ontario and around the world to another exciting season of curling on Title Sports Live. Tonight we have live coverage of the Ontario U21 Men's and Women's Curling Championship being held here at the Annandale Golf and Curling Club in Ajax, Ontario. My name is Mary Chilvers and I'm joined here today by the 2018 Canadian Mixed Champion, Danielle Inglis. Good evening, Danielle.
Hi, Mary. It's so great to be here and to be part of the Ontario U21 Championship. This event has featured some of the top young curlers from all around the province, competing for a chance to represent Ontario at the national U21 event that's being held January 13th through 21st in Shawinigan, Quebec.
And the feature game we have for you tonight, this is the final of the Women's Championship to go to the Canadian Championship. We have Team Murphy up against Team Wallingford.
So Team Murphy has been waiting for their opponent all day. They got a bye directly to the final by virtue of their record throughout the round robin. They went 6-1. So they won their first game against Team Rosanne, won their second game against Team Little, won their third game against Team Steele, and their only loss came in during their fourth game to Team Kiemel. And they strung off 3 wins against Team Warner, Team Ald, and their last round robin game against Team Wallingford.
Right.
And that was the game, the pivotal game, that the winner of that one went to the final. So it was a very close game. 5-3 was the final score.
Right. So because of that win, Wallingford had to move down to the semi-final spot and won that spot earlier today, and now she has made it to the final of this championship.
And Team Wallingford has come out of this championship with a great record so far. They won their first 4 games, lost their 5th to Team Rosanne, and won their next game against Team Little, and then of course their second loss being to Team Murphy. But as you mentioned, they had a strong game this afternoon. We saw them in that semi,
Yeah, that semi was tight for a while, and then Wallingford kind of moved ahead the latter part of the game. So I think we've got two very talented teams here. They've both been at the top of the leaderboard all week.
This is all there. This is
I'm
heavy.
expecting a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is what's interesting is that this is only going to be the third time that they played each other all season.
Really?
So they played each other in Bonspiel earlier on this season. Their second meeting was during the round robin, and this will be the third.
Okay.
And currently, Team Murphy has the advantage, 2-0.
Okay. So we're just a little ahead of the game here right now. I think the practices went on a little late this evening, probably to give Wallingford a little more rest time because she was coming off the semi. So we're into the middle of the second practice, and then we will get underway.
So two different situations. You mentioned Team Wallingford just came off the ice. They had a fairly quick turnaround, about an hour and a half before they had to come back out onto the ice. But there's two schools of thoughts for the team. For Team Wallingford, they're on a roll. They just had a win, and they're going to be on a high coming into this game. Whereas Team Murphy, they had the night off, they've had the morning off, and as one of the players said, we really enjoyed our sleep in.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's something to be said for getting more sleep, being well rested coming into this game. Though they've been sitting on it for about a day now.
Yeah, pros and cons to both, I think, Danielle.
Yeah. Though we just had the Murphy team sitting in front of us a minute ago, and they seem like they're keeping things pretty loose.
Yeah, they're giggling. Keeping loose, that's a good thing.
Hopefully you're able to enjoy our coverage of the men's final. That was this afternoon, and if you weren't able to tune in, of course you can always catch the games archived on our website. And it was Team Hall who took the Ontario U21 men's championship final. So they won it last year, and they have repeated this year.
Yeah, and they made it all the way to the final of the Nationals last year and lost it, which was heartbreaking for them, I think. So they get another chance at that.
Remember watching that game, and it was very close. There were some incredible shots that were being made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same team again. So they're 1 year older, 1 year wiser.
Right.
And so looking forward to having Team Hall as our representatives from Ontario.
Yeah. And when he did his acceptance speech, Danielle, it just shows what his personality is like. He was so gracious.
Very. He's the whole team down to earth.
Oh, yeah.
Great representative for Ontario. So on behalf of TSL, we wish Team Hall all the best of luck.
Absolutely.
Now back to our feature sheet. We finished both practices, so the game is about to get underway.
Again, Team Murphy having last rock in the first end.
Something else interesting to note, that for not only did they have last rock, but by virtue of being clear of the field, they had choice of color as well. So the teams, once you get down to the final day, the playoff day, these teams get a chance to select their rocks. So they don't just have to play with the rocks that are on their sheet. So they were able to select rocks from a few other sheets in the club. I believe the men had the odd number sheets to select from, and the women had the even number of sheets. And the teams had about 30 minutes each to practice and to select their rocks. And what will be interesting to see, Mary, is what the ice is like now with only one team, one sheet on the ice, so only 8 bodies plus 2 officials.
Yeah, we've been watching it all week with all 8 sheets going, and then down to 2 sheets for the last couple of draws.
Queen. Well,
This is about the warmest we've seen it outside so far this championship, -9.
Nice shot.
Wow. That's
9-6.
nice. It is compared to what we've been seeing in the last couple of days here.
Well, you know you're Canadian when.
Yeah. I'm surprised people aren't wearing shorts.
And we bring up the weather not only to tell you what we're enjoying out here in Ajax, but also because of the effect that it can have on the ice. The
Gotta hold it, Lance.
Andale Golf and Curling Club is an 8-sheet club with no heater and no insulation. So
10.
that means that it's greatly affected by any of the weather outside. And when it's this cold, it's quite cold out on the playing surface. The air is cold, but that also affects the ice, so
Queen.
it tends to run
Yeah.
straighter the colder it is.
Queen. Queen. Yeah.
And as we've typically seen from most of the teams
good.
and all of the women's teams
one, 10-6.
out here this week is played at least one end, if not two, of target practice.
Yeah, and very opposite
both
of what we
moved
saw
good,
in the
though.
men's final. We saw the very first end, the very first rock was called as a guard.
9.
A couple reasons for this. One,
Yep.
there's
Crosshair.
a time issue, so the players, the teams are wanting to
Nice.
make time. And by throwing it
Fifth row, Lance.
up and back a few times, that means that it's pretty quick decision making, so save some time there.
Roll a little.
The other
10.
the other two is just to get out any nerves that there may be lingering.
So Danielle, just talking about the Wallingford team, I was sitting there at dinner tonight, and they were having a little team meeting, and they have two quite experienced helpers on their team. One of them, their coach, is Doug Kreviazek, who's heavily involved in curling, and so are all three of his daughters.
Well,
And they have Earl Morris as their mentor. So I know you also mentor a team. So can you sort of tell us a little bit
Dan.
about what that
Right now, Dan.
entails?
Sure.
9-7,
So
so that's a good read.
there's the Next Gen program that's run through the Ontario Curling Association, and what it is it's a program that identifies certain teams that have potential, and the teams have to apply for this, and then based on their credentials and their potential, they're identified as teams who will be part of this program. Once you're in the program, you actually are able to select which coach you'd like to have mentor you. So I've been happy personally to work with Team Leung for the past 2 seasons, and they've been an absolute delight. And Team Wallingford has a great mentor in Team Morris. So as a mentor coach, you're not taking over remotely as the coach of the team by any stretch of the imagination, but your role is to mentor not only the players but also the coach. So, so it's a unique role. So it's helping to identify places that need work, identify some strengths, weaknesses, and to really help facilitate anything that the team needs. So if the team needs to work more heavily with the sports psychologist, you get more work done there. If they need more fitness training, you help them with that. Come out to some of the practices or some of the tournaments, and those are some of the best learning tools, because then you get to work with the coach and the team and see how they react during competition. So Earl has been here for the second half of the week with Team Wallingford, and we can see he's been an integral part of the team.
He has. So as a mentor, are all the mentors certified? Do they have their certification for coaching?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They basically, like I said, the teams get a chance to select them, which is something that's actually unique and I think kind of fun. And part of what they do, it depends on the team. Some select based on location. So Team Wallingford is based out of Ottawa. Earl is Ottawa. I'm in Whitby. Team Leung is in around the Durham region. So they get a chance to work closely with the coaches. Some of them are in different parts of Ontario. It just all depends on what the team feels they need. So, and it's a fabulous program, because it really gets individual attention with each team. So as opposed to a blanket camp giving the same information to every team, you're really focusing and honing in on what each team needs.
Yeah, and I like what you said about that. You don't just mentor the players, you're mentoring their coach. Because, that coaching is a tough job, and sometimes you may be good at doing something, but then it's another thing to actually teach something. So
Line's good.
It can bring a fresh perspective in or to the team, and from an outsider perspective, but still getting to know the players as well. And from a coaching perspective, as a coach myself, I always appreciate the opportunity to learn from any other coach that they're teach with, or even who coaches me. There's always something to be learned. So, like you said, the opportunity for the coaches to have someone also being able to provide feedback is huge.
it is huge. Well, that's a great program that they have. And that's been going, it's fairly recent, isn't it?
It
They
is.
started that, yeah.
Yes, I believe the last 2 years, the Ontario Curling Council. Yeah,
Yes.
And Jen Ferris heads up that program.
Okay. And all the teams have to apply to get that chance.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, because we saw it out here, Mary. There are so many incredible teams and high-performing teams.
Just top 4, guys.
So how do you choose
How do you
sometimes?
choose? Yeah.
But it does come down to credentials and where they are and what they're able to bring to the table.
Top 4.
In this path, it's straightening a little.
There are so many opportunities for young curlers now. They have programs like the Next Gen, the Trillium Curling Camp, the high performance camp that for players aged 13 to 18 that has been around for over 25 years.
Now that's the one, where is that located, that camp? Is that in Guelph?
It was in Guelph, but it's found a new home at the KW Granite for the past 4 years now. So they open up their facility in August, and there's 2 weeks of the camp. So week 1 and week 2, full of 96 campers a week.
Right. The girls that I coached, they went to that for the last couple of years, and they just absolutely loved it.
You learn a ton about curling, but you also just have a lot of fun and learn about life.
Right. Like it's a camp, like any other camp, right? So you're there to also make friends, new friends, and see old friends again.
It is. I'm a product of that camp, having gone through as a player and now as a coach for several years. But I remember the first year, my mom always likes telling the story. I got in the car, and on the drive back, it was in Guelph at that point, so an hour drive back, almost got home, and she's like, "So, did you do any curling?" I couldn't stop yapping about all the new friends I had made and the fun we had in the water slide and water day.
Really?
But that's the type of thing. By the way, I got a ton out of that camp as well that year. But it's all about enjoying it too. So
that's great.
That's a good general rule for curling.
Let it roll, Hannah. Good.
So between camps like that and what's happening at the university and college levels with the national championships, and Curling Canada has now fully sanctioned the college championships as of this year.
Really?
So that is a new officially sanctioned event. So that's going to be happening in conjunction with the university championships now.
That's great. And I think I was looking up some stats when I'm doing my homework for the Scotties that you're in, and am I correct when I say that you are a junior Ontario champion? That's a skip.
I am. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. 2008.
8.
Yep.
Made me think there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
have-
I knew
Other
that
way.
until I was doing a little bit of homework,
Okay.
and then I
Get
actually
clean.
was looking, and there's a lot of women playing in the Scotties that are former junior Ontario champions.
It's such a small world.
Yeah.
And it's fun being able to grow up with the players and to still be playing them in the women's ranks. And you never know when you're going to go back and play with other teams.
This spot's really manageable now. We've seen it a few times.
And and it was
I think
on our
Diane going to the
feature
middle.
sheet as we've been chatting along. It was Team Murphy who ended up sticking on a blank attempt, so it is 1-0 for Team Murphy after the first end. And
flip
Team
in,
Wallingford
that's fine.
will have the hammer going into end 2. So that wasn't necessarily their game plan going in, but you know what, Mary? Sometimes
Line's pretty good.
it never hurts to get the first point on the
Here's my
board.
draw.
I'm
line's
never
good.
upset about that. No.
No. Maybe I
Okay,
just like
first.
saying that as a skip because when I knows it accidentally, at least it's a positive.
You're like, well, I wanted the point anyway.
5 minutes.
So I'm just sticking up for a fellow skip.
No, but I know what you mean about it's nice to be the first to score.
Good. Joan, you'd like a measure?
So they're going to do a measure on this rock to determine whether or not it's in or out of the rings. So typically you see, of course, the measuring stick only come out the end of the end, but this is one of the few times that it can be used during the game. And if it's in the rings, of course, you can hit it. If it's out of the rings, it's in the free guard zone, cannot be removed by the opposition.
She usually does the 6 foot. Unless she gives it to you. We don't have a right to
So they're asking head official Joan O'Leary to bring over the measuring stick for them.
Joan looks very bundled up out there.
She does, and she usually isn't bothered by the cold,
Yeah.
so that's when you know it's cold. And it goes right by, so that means the rock is in the free guard zone.
Nice shot, Hill. You had like half a centimeter.
So Wallingford not allowed to hit that rock. And she's going to go with a conservative move here and just draw to the wing.
I think we gotta go a bit.
Basically what that says is they're hoping for a blank this end.
It's really nice. Gotta go. Gotta go, Lynn. Right, Lynn. Yep. Right back. Yep, Lynn. Hey, all you got. Yep. Great shot.
Nose is fine. Rolls really good. 10 here.
And that's a perfectly executed shot.
It is. The reason they wanted that behind the tee line is because they know Justin is going to
Lean
hit
in.
it, and they
Yeah.
don't want her to hit and be able to roll behind that guard and have it in front of the tee line.
Yep. Hard.
Sorry. Somebody, please. Sweet. That was actually a great roll.
Not easy to do on this ice either, as we've seen.
Like frozen right now.
Okay.
15's nice.
Okay. Puppy's good too, Dan.
soft out of your hands, like just not a nice finish, you know?
In the spot.
Yeah. Line's good.
6,
7.
Line only.
Stay close. Whoa, 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 room. Hill first right now. Whoa. Line's really nice right now. Yeah. Let it stop.
Hard on our dam.
I don't think so. Yep, good. 4-1. Pretty gradual.
It is a nice gradual curl in that spot, and we've seen this ice curls more towards sheet 8. But you will see movement both ways in the 4-foot area, and especially going out to the wings by the center line, it will really start to move. It's actually fooled a couple of teams this week into thinking it picked.
Yeah.
8.
That's big weight, Danielle.
Good. Nice shot.
Very nice shot.
It is. I think Jess just she was over on the other side catching rocks and didn't quite sweep out that rock that's just biting that they're now hitting. Bit of a missed opportunity, but if they can get a hit and roll in towards the center, bring the rocks closer for a double at some point, that's what their goal is right now.
Whoa. Clean right. Yeah. 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 Hard. Hard.
Good. 9-3. Good throw.
Tail end.
They're asking.
If you like going the wing, if we know it, I don't mind it, but you threw a nice one to the wing.
Even if you're light, Lynn, and they go around, we can do this and we'd be buried behind our corner. Okay.
I like it. Okay. I think we can make it. You threw a nice draw on the last end.
They've
We
elected
can take
to
it there.
play the draw to the
very
side.
nice, yeah.
If I were them, I would like to see a hidden roll off of that top rock.
They didn't really discuss that. They said peel. The front end wanted to peel the front
Weight's
one.
nice.
That's
7.
not necessary. I
Line's
understand
good.
why they want to hit it, though. But yeah, Danielle, you could just throw like a nice control weight on that hit and roll into the rings and sit too.
Emma had
Running
mentioned
right now
that
a lot.
it could play the hin roll
to
behind the
finish it,
corner
Emma.
if it was up. So it's
You gotta go right
the
back
idea
now.
was there, just
Hard.
not for
Like
right
back
now.
here if you can. Keep going. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. That's good, Lynn.
Pretty thin.
Well,
Just the
it's-
roll's
it's not
nice
on
too,
center for a
though.
while.
Do you like here? 9.
And this is the danger of that, because now they've left a double here. Not the easiest double, but they've left a double here, or if you miss the double, the tolerance is just to hit it thicker and get the roll.
Yeah, yeah! Yeah! Whoa, whoa!
My bad.
And that is an
8-2.
in-betweensy.
Yeah.
Definitely not enough ice for 9 then. Good throw.
Lane, just watch the path. We're starting on the other side of center.
Light's okay here.
Gonna curl a little bit more. Stay with it. Line's good. Can you fit? Switch if you can. Can you go right back? Whoa then. Whoa. No, up here. That's good.
A much better placement of that rock.
15-3. 10?
The 45-degree angle they have on it makes it quite difficult
Even
to
if you roll big to the
get a
other
double.
side.
Yeah, so Justin will just actually go for the hit and try to roll behind her yellow guard.
Whoa. Whoa, just trying. You know. Whoa. Hard roll. Good.
Yeah, 10-5, 10-6.
Yeah, you got this. Do you like this 10?
It was nice though.
I don't mind 9.
Be pretty straight.
But 10's good too. Yeah, because I'm thinking even if you get half under, it's okay. Okay, 10. Clean. Whoa, clean. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Hard. Roll it. Great throw.
Great shot to
this
get
big
towards
wall.
the
Yeah,
outside
one
and get
or two that
separation.
Actually did really curl. Actually, that was yours. Yeah. 10?
A little. But it does move a little bit.
10? Big roll over. Hills curled nice here.
Whoa. Close. Yeah! No roll!
And got the roll, touched the second rock in the back. Wasn't able to push it out, but it's now exposed.
Definitely. Yeah, that was only the second time.
And let's see the replay here. Can see great angle. Caught the first, caught the second, punched it out into the 12-foot.
A little bit less. Nice break. Okay, close.
Big ad.
Got it. Lindsay, drop. No, Lindsay. Hannah! Hard. Right back to it. Yep. On your side. Yep. Go. Yep. Hard. Get a heart.
Really nice shot there.
I don't really think it's that much slower there.
We can be high is good too.
It does leave Justin, though, a chance to
I didn't want to be heavy.
duplicate that shot. And it will be hard for the Wallingford team to remove it.
Scared me with
They stayed a bit tighter. Let's take a hairline. Yeah.
Especially if she gets fully buried top button around the centerline guard, and there is enough movement to do that.
Yeah, right to it. Even oh, floor is really good. They stayed tighter than I expected. They held the ball. Similar to jogger button, eh? Line's good.
Line's good. 8-7. Room. Starting to curl. Line's getting good. Whoa. Riley first. Whoa.
Looking a little heavy here.
Whoa.
It's going to bounce off the red one out into the open.
Now, the issue with that is they've left a double for 3.
Might even curl a little bit more here. Yep. Sorry. 10. Comes up nice and careful. It might bring a little tighter. It might curl a bit. Does it jam, Grace? The double? It might, but we're sticking around for, like it's jamming on the back of it. We're sticking around for 2 for sure. Okay, so just know it's for 2.
If they played a lower weight and hit it thicker, they could avoid the jam there. But be safe. Taking 2 here is
good.
great.
Yeah.
Try and make it, Grace.
Definitely
Lindsay!
want to be.
Lindsay!
Yeah.
Hard lid! Gotta go, lid! Gotta go, lid! Hard lid!
All right.
And it still picked up the deuce.
Yeah.
So that is 2 points for the Wallingford team in N2, and they lead 2-1 over Team Murphy.
We can play.
Team Murphy with the hammer in N3.
Sure.
We'll watch a replay of that shot. See, got the double, hung wide, got the double, but Grace swept her out the back
Yeah, we saw him
to pick up the
practice
deuce.
Open 2? Like that?
Thanks for cheering me on.
And we like that shooting. Did you? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I think probably 15, close to it. Yeah.
Line's
Seems
good.
good. No, it does curl here.
Well, it's running.
Line's
It's
good.
running. It's running a lot. A lot. A lot. A lot.
Okay, then no, we're back 8. If it's running. Coming off a lot. Coming off a lot, but I still really don't want to. No, no. Back 4.
Just don't touch it. Lindsay, no.
Just leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. It's fine right now.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I like to have your hands too. I thought it was okay too.
It's just starting to straighten out. Okay. Yeah, we've thrown a number of things. We'll take it a little bit further, I guess. Sure.
Because I might have set it like a little bit.
Just because
Line's
the guard was
good.
there, just to be on the safe side, I was fine. But
Is it there for 3?
I think
It's starting to curl a little. Line's good.
okay.
Oh. Line's really good now.
I think so. Top 4 even.
Six.
Good throw.
Top 8 even is fine.
3. This is okay.
3 is fine. Just back button the shift the scoring area. Is 4 okay, Em?
Yeah, 4 is okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So Wallingford's first rock when it slipped down behind the button. They're now looking to
3-4.
get one
It's running right now.
in a good position, tight guard. But it's going to slip in the ring, so now it's a matter of where they put it. So they want to keep this above the tee.
It's just sitting down. It's just sitting down. It's coming down. Sit. Sit. Great weight, Hannah.
Okay,
Good.
that's good.
all right.
I like this now.
We didn't judge it great, so
9.5.
did you say no ad on your first one? Okay, that might have been why your first one. That's all right.
Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Clean. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No roll.
Okay.
Yeah, like no.
You know what? That's a good shot, Danielle. That's fine. Pushes the red rock off the 4 foot, puts it
Nose is
behind the
okay,
tee
right?
line. Still has her corner guard.
Nose is all right.
I think she's got a pretty good setup there now.
Yeah.
This is a 10.
In this
Good 10.
this rock, if they hit and they happen to roll anywhere towards the outside, towards the other red, can easily ignore it and just come around the corner.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Up. It's a little up.
So
No.
maybe a jam and a rollout here.
Okay.
All right.
So there you go. Justin's
I
got
don't
a
know
couple
what
of
happened.
options.
Yep. So they're just going to ignore that rock in the back. They'd like to be shot around in the top of the house around this corner, but it's not necessary to be shot at this point. But buried around is the biggest priority.
Don't know.
Line's really nice. 5. Room. Switch when you can. Whoa. Starting to curl a lot. Hillary, yeah. Line's really good. 6, line's good.
Whoa.
Yep.
5-2. Beauty.
That was a perfect come around. Wallingford team now will just try to either remove the front one or possibly double those off.
No.
This is
No.
Lindsay Dubé, the second for the Wallingford team.
I just don't want to do that. Okay, good. I like the guard back right now.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Good, Lynn.
Danielle Hudson is the second for Team Murphy.
Oh.
She was in the 2017 tiebreakers at the Ontario Provincials with Team Murphy. They had in that series of crazy tiebreakers they had last year.
Oh, okay.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Line's good. Line's really
And
nice.
she is a left-handed ginger with
Starting
blue
to move a
eyes,
bit
rare,
now.
1 in a million, is what she says.
Stop that.
Line's good.
No, you're not. Good one.
Oh, great shot.
Just peel.
Apparently a couple people didn't even know what a ginger is, Danielle.
There's a thing right there, Hannah. Can you get it?
We'll clarify. That's a redhead.
No.
Clean yet?
No.
Clean?
No.
Clean. We have a quarter of it.
No, I don't want to touch that.
A small
Again, Ryan?
disagreement in the line call.
But yeah, because she didn't put any handle on it. Okay. This shirt is so big. This shirt is so big.
Wider right now. Little wider. You're going to come off this hill nice. Line's really good.
Whoa. 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 Line's perfect. 6-3. It should stop like Dan's. Sit. Good.
And it stops in time.
Again, you're like trying it, Grace. I don't mind trying it. Okay.
This is Grace Holyoke, the third for the Wallingford team.
8, right? Yep.
She was last year's silver medalist at the Junior Nationals.
Yep. Well,
Team Haley Armstrong, who will be, who's now skipping and will be at the Ontario Scotties.
That's right. That's Armstrong's first year in the ladies circuit, Danielle.
It
She's
is.
made it to the provincials.
Pretty good. Don't hate one more.
She's a very good shooter.
Sorry, Em.
And the third for the Murphy team is Riley Santum. She's the U18 Optimus silver medalist back in 2014 with Jess.
Curling a hair earlier.
And she just absolutely loves curling with Jess.
Whoa, whoa,
It's listed as one of her proudest moments.
3, 2,
Curled
shoot,
with
good.
them for her entire junior career, which is
Line's
6
perfect.
years.
Really, it's nice.
Good. Yeah, same way. 16. A little more.
So another very tight guard, and
Like, are we ever gonna?
this gives them a chance to throw the same run.
So let me play it this way. Okay, just let's start really tight. Okay. Just rolling our shooter, yeah.
They're looking at the jam,
it's almost
so
straight back.
they can't hit that
Okay,
the top rock on the high side. They want to hit on the low side, and if anything, rolling into the house, even if they miss the back one.
8, right? Yep. Okay.
This is Emma Wallingford, the skip of this team.
Yep,
Yep.
gotta go.
Yep. Yep. Hard, you got it, yes. Hard. Roll it, hand up, roll it. Had a girl at. Nice shot.
Do you like around here? Yeah.
Thanks.
Think about there. It's about the L.
Nice run back. And
Yeah.
Nice shot.
let's see a replay of this.
Right around there.
Oh wait, fantastic shot of Emma watching her rock down the ice. So the Murphy team is going to use the rock that the Wallingford team had just run back and use it as a corner come around, and they need to be sitting shot rock.
Line's good. Line's good. Room. Line's really good. Riley hard!
Just missed the line call. It's coming in a little hot, but even behind the team in shot would have been better.
It doesn't move. Remember, you threw yours here and even backed up? Okay. Or Lindsay did, sorry, with a 10 and it backed up.
Good 9.
Yeah.
Right on the nose is great.
Yours backed up here, eh? You like 9 with this ice?
That was just.
Well, it's tough to jam it, so do you like playing a 10 and throwing... I don't know, I like this.
It's really tough to jam
Just
it.
get it. If you force, that's good.
And where do you like to your shooter to go on this one, Danielle?
I would say even just sticking it right there.
Yeah,
If you
that's
can,
what I was thinking.
If you can nose it, that's going to make the draw slightly more difficult to negotiate.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, so she can't, Justin can't hit that and be shot or second shot, so she
really
could be
straight
forced to
there.
draw against 3,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, we
4.
haven't seen it coming
Not
this
sure if
way
that one's
yet.
biting over there.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close to speed.
What?
I think it's pretty close to the same speed.
Yeah, 15 probably.
Yeah.
Really like their comments that they had while they were talking about the path to throw this draw. And they picked up on the fact that this is a straighter spot, will be right up to speed.
Yeah.
Same weight as I just threw, you mean? We haven't played it this way yet. 15, I think.
Pretty wide. Just stay close. It's pretty fresh. Stay close.
Yep.
Oh, 7.
Curling now.
4-3. Hard, Grace, right through. Hard, go. Hard, 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 hard. Keep going. Keep going. Hard, go. 3. Yeah.
And that is a steal of 3.
Yeah.
So Team Wallingford now leads 5-1 over Team Murphy. Team Murphy with the hammer in end number 4.
You know this path, Hannah?
Like one side of
I'm giving you a little bit more, so maybe we just get
Got the
better
replay
path.
here of it just finishing, and it did catch the curl, but even with the curl, it's just so quick.
This one is where you can improve.
Yeah, we're coming away.
Like to go a bit.
So both should be up to speed.
Yeah.
Like to go. Line's good. You're in a wider path. Keep looking up.
Gotta go.
Okay. All you got, then it has to be in.
Gotta go.
Grace, it has to be in. Has to be in. Okay, just remember your tolerance.
Oh my god.
Yep. Give this one to you guys. Good sweep. And good sweep on that last one too. Yeah. Let's just not do that. You can be heavy, right? Line's good. 2. Starting to curl early. Yep. Yep. Keep it going. Hard. Keep it curling too. Hard. Yep.
That's nice.
Great
Good
sweep,
one.
guys. No, it was about. Do you guys like trying the split? Or just the straight tap?
I prefer the
I
straight
don't
tap.
really like the tap because then we leave a center line guard. Any guard helps them right now. Yeah, that's my only concern. I don't like. Can we do this then?
Sure.
Even if you're open.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they talked about every possibility and finally came to the right conclusion that
Just kept going.
the come around would be best. They don't want to leave a center guard, and if they were tapping it, it would leave it in a guard position.
Line's good.
6, 7 on its own right now.
We're a little further out, but it's gonna curl soon.
Whoa.
Starting to
6,
go.
6,
Line's
7,
really good.
7.
You got room.
7 on its own right now.
Got room.
7 on its own.
Okay, do not leave it here. Go, Lindsay.
Gotta go, Lynn.
Right back.
All you
All
got,
the
Lynn.
way.
All you got. All you got,
Okay,
Lynn.
whoa,
Yep.
whoa. Good.
Not bad, Hannah.
Another.
Okay.
That's right.
Not bad, but not great either, Danielle.
Yeah, it's better. You heard one of the players say it. It's better there than light. Though, really, any rock that's behind the tee right now is to the advantage of Team Murphy.
Whoa, line.
Way out of your hand, but
Let it curl a little. Just wanted 2. Line's okay now. Stand first if you can. 2. Yep, Dan.
Yep.
Yep, Dan.
Go, go, go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's good. That's good. Nice.
Turn one. The intern's tough to get around.
Pretty good considering I almost fell.
Yep.
Well, it's great. Both guards are even, so there's no double available. You'll see a series of peels coming up from the Wallingford team. They don't want any rocks in play.
Hard! All you got, Hannah. Gotta strike it out. Gotta strike it out. Fold if you want it. Okay, it's good. It's more weight than I thought. We hit a lot of that rock.
Put it back, I think.
Might have been higher than more than I. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yep. You can for sure give it to. Three.
No line right now. Hill first.
Two. I think we
Two.
should set up, don't you?
High two. 1, 2.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Hard curl.
Keep it going. Yep, 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 yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good.
Just over top. I just don't want to touch it in. Yes!
Yes, you really gotta go. Hard, Hannah, drag it out.
You got it, Hannah.
Hard, all you got. All you got.
Center. Yep, yep, yep.
It's okay, Lynn. It's pretty
There's
nice.
the break for Team Murphy.
Okay.
Do you like that one now?
Send it all. She's still on the nose.
Just roll it a hair this way.
Okay. Just didn't set it.
It might have been a hair less weight because your last one, if we hit
So like 9.5?
they'll roll all the way out. Just 10. We really want to keep our shooter.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, like that they're going down in their weight call, but I feel, I mean, teach their own on the teams, but even less weight is better to try to stick around here.
Yeah, you don't have to remove that rock. You can punch that rock back to the back 12 foot, throw like a backline weight at it.
Whoa. No.
Just follow shooter, right?
No, don't.
Because the biggest thing is they really need to stick around
That's
with this
right.
one.
They're not with that.
Exactly.
I said
Is it in or no?
Pardon? Is that in? No, no.
Okay. 9-8. Good weight. Fine.
8? Yeah, this is a really tough double, so just make sure one goes away.
Okay.
No, 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 no. Yep. It was really, really hard. I wasn't even going to call it that way.
So Justin still has some options here. She's still got a corner guard.
6.
It's time to get a couple of rocks around that guard.
Carson's pretty similar. Got one. I mean, tough.
And, fast spot out here, fast, and it's got some good curl to it as well.
Line's okay.
3, 4.
6. Line's good.
4.
Yep. Hard hill. Hard line.
3, 4.
Hard line.
3.
Hard. Yep, 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 yep. Keep going, keep going. Roll it, roll it. Whoa. Okay, good.
Good weight, maybe a pinch light, and it just hit the guard, but if we're talking about tolerance, then that was the place to be.
Absolutely.
Clean. 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 Atta girl.
And for good measure, they took the second rock out as well, way over on the side of the sheet. We should see some good movement here.
I was going to call it like 3/4 on the nose. I wasn't, we were never going to really get it across the top. We had to call it from
It's nice when you can throw basically the same shot twice. Nice for the skip who, you know, will have a better idea of where to put the broom on the second time. And also the thrower.
That was tough. They're talking to the hack about how they needed a few feet more weight. And this team, you can hear them talking about numbers, and they're talking about is the split time between the back line and the hog line. So a 4 is what they had mentioned, and it may have been a 4, which sounds like an approximately good time for a draw on this kind of ice, but based on the way that was running, she really gave it, and so it was the time when you need to throw that number out the door.
It moves here. I don't mind taking a little less.
It moves a lot.
Okay.
Once you get across the line.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but we just
So we're trying to draw the play away from the corner guard. Putting a second rock in play on the opposite side of the sheet.
Like if it's T-line, I'd rather it top 12 or like a 9. Well, I don't want a guard, yeah, but it's hard to throw a guard here. What do you think? 10? Okay.
Line's good, guys.
Line's good.
Line's great. Lindsay's rock if you can switch. Really riding the line right now. Really riding the line. All you got, yep. Hard, Liz. Got a good one. Want to leave it just really high? Okay, whoa then. That's fine.
Just really riding that line. No, don't worry about it. It couldn't be a guard.
This is about the same path that mine in the second I came through, eh? We took here. Yeah.
We just hung
So
on
3
there
inches
for
more.
a long. The only reason I didn't like it was because when they were throwing off the line,
The Wallingford rock is it's no longer a great move to put it behind the guard that can't make that double without rolling out, or it would be a very, very
Just
thin
freeze the
double
back
on
one,
the
eh?
inside, a little reminiscent of Rachel Homan's Scotty's double
Oh,
she
yes.
made in the 10th end.
Came through almost the same path between 2 3.
So great call to freeze on the back.
Yeah, for sure. Same speed as the second, hey? Okay. Yep. Not a huge press.
Line's really good. 8, 7, 8. Hard.
Over curling.
Whoa, over curling.
Shoot. Just less weight curls up a lot more. Just less weight curled up a lot more.
Just having another look at that shot.
Yeah.
Jess is just struggling a little with draw weight after probably putting the one in the previous end a little heavy.
There's some different spots on the ice there, so that spot is much or the spot she threw in the third end is much faster than that path they just saw.
Yeah.
That. So this will be a draw for a single for Justin Murphy.
Yeah. I'll just give you a bit nicer press, I think, hey? Piece of the four.
Line's good for backing. Line's good for backing. You're fine.
And a great sweep in, and Team Murphy picks up a single. But they continue to trail Team Wallingford. Team Wallingford up
Good
5-2 after N4.
A lot bigger kick again.
And here's the replay of the shot. See, nicely swept in. They knew they could use the backing, and they did.
And that's something that people get caught on a lot,
they're gonna just
Danielle.
keep
It's
I think you can get a good one
the
in
sweepers really have to communicate to the person in the house. It's a little bit heavy because that rock would, if it did not have backing, it would have gone to the back 12 foot. So they need to be aware of that.
Sweep
Sweep
right
it to the
here, eh?
backing, which they did.
Make that decision quick.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to see from Team Wallingford in this end? They do have hammer, and they're up 3.
I think they will still be very cautious and just go for their 2 points in a cautious manner.
Line's good.
Still in full control of
Line
the game.
first then.
This is what, and Team Murphy is happy that there's 10 ends.
Line's really good.
So
Just curling.
more than half the game to go.
Yep. Yep. Good.
Good, guys. 23.
See the same approach that they had taken in the second end, pulling the rock out to the side in the back. But I think we'll see Team Murphy take a different approach to
Yeah.
how they play their rock.
Yeah, different situation now. They did this in the first end, I believe. But now Justin's down a few points. She kind of has to go for it. So she will ignore that and just
3.
put another guard up.
I like this way, Hill. Early. Line's good. 3. Line's good. Yeah, Dan? Line's good. Whoa. Line's good. We're good. Nice one.
And
16-5.
lead Hillary Noon is all about those tight guards this game.
Mm-hmm.
She's managed to put a couple right in close.
Yeah.
At this point, if they know it's through, just just make sure it's all the way through. That's what they want.
Good point.
I mean, it went out fairly easily, but they were a little casual with it. You never know when there's a piece of debris on the ice.
We've seen a lot of draws in this spot go through the house. Justin really wants to get this rock in play, even if this is short. It's not terrible. Just don't want to waste a shot by putting it
Line's good.
putting it in the hack. You really got to think about that.
Let it curl a little. Whoa.
If I were Team Murphy, I actually would have taken the
Pretty
other
hard,
turn
yeah.
because there's more consistent curl, and it was
Room.
a bit of a better path to draw on.
4-5. Good, Dan.
It's not that it doesn't
Really
have the
nice
curl,
line.
it really requires more precision on that side, whereas there's a little bit more forgiveness on the in-turn.
Put it back, Dan. 1.
Justin could come around this guard, but it's very, very tight to the rings. So she's going to try to put up another long guard.
She's really favoring the out turn for some reason.
Is, yes.
We haven't been able to pick up any reasoning through the mics, but be interested to know
Line's
the thought
really
process. Maybe the team's just overall in general better at out turns.
Whoa,
Could be.
starting to curl. Oh, you're fine. Line's good. Just want to get to center. Curling nice now.
Again, it's
Good
not that
one.
you can't make a shot with the out turn. It just
With the intern?
with the out turn here,
Oh,
but
yes. Yeah.
but we've just seen the intern be a little more natural.
Again. Line's pretty good. Well then, line's good. Line's fine. More rotation than Dan. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just want to be here. Higher the better. Oh, good. Good line.
At some point, if they keep doing this, Justin will start coming into the rings. She certainly doesn't want to ever
Again?
lose both guards.
Yeah, that's the. At some point, you're going to have to make a bit of a move. We are on the thirds last rock, so I imagine with after this guard and another peel, we'll probably see Jess come into the rings.
Same path. Same path. Bit less rotation, eh? Line's really good. Whoa, really just want to split center, no double.
I was talking to Justin's mom, Janet Murphy, a few times this week. Janet likes to sit and knit
Good.
when she's watching her daughter.
Ah.
I said, well, what are you knitting? She says, oh, nothing. I'm just knitting.
You know, I don't blame her. It's hard watching.
Yeah.
And I don't mean from this chair. This is a little different. But when you're watching a player or a team and you're really invested in something, I mean, I'm not a parent, so I can't know that exactly. But I know how nervous I can get watching Friends.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't blame her for wanting to keep busy.
I don't blame her either. I don't have kids that curl, and honestly, I don't know if I could watch them, especially when they're in like a final like this, to go to a national championship.
guard
I don't
back?
know. It'd be tough.
Is it already coming around now? Okay, it looks good. I had those guards here, but I like here because it really started to curl on yours. Yeah, that should be good.
And for Janet, of course, competitive curler herself on with Jacqueline Harrison's team. You'll see
Right
them
in
at
in
the
full
Ontario
thrust.
Scotties. And
That's right. I wonder if she'll be knitting there.
she's welcome to if we play against her.
Oh dear. Yeah,
But I find as a player, I'm sure Janet would agree, and yourself, it's much easier being out there throwing the rocks rather than sitting.
It is,
And
yeah.
Just caught her looking over there, and it sounds like she agrees.
I think she's knitting. I'm looking at her right now. She's looking down.
6, 7. Yeah, a little bit. Line's good. Yeah, line. Room. Whoa, whoa.
This is looking nice. It's a perfect come around. Perfect
Good one, guys.
weight.
Better. They were on and off. Okay. Yeah. The guard back. All of these guards were splitting center. I like the same broom we took for the draw.
So they've seen this path, Mary. They've made several guards here.
I'll tell you, they
Just a guard.
really need a good one now.
They do.
Our guards were curling to split center, so we took the same path as the draw.
Not sure who
Halfway
is
through.
second shot.
So Sunday.
In this case, it's more they're going to have to go one at a time, one steal at a time. So yeah, guard this perfectly. The last rock for Justin Murphy of the fifth end.
Line's good. Line's really good. Line's perfect. Swooping in. Little bit Rye. Hard, both of you, hard! Keep it going a bit. Yeah, fight center, hard, hard!
Good one, guys.
And a perfectly placed guard. So to answer Mary's question, Emma just confirmed they are second shot. So they're playing a heavy tap. The tolerance on the shot is to be late and do just a small tap to get one, but they are going for two. So last rock of the fifth end.
Sweepers have backed right off of this rock.
And that's a steal of one for Team Murphy. And they continue to trail, but they're creeping their way back into it. But it's Team Wallingford with a 5-3 lead over Team Murphy. And be Team Wallingford with the hammer again when we come back from the break.
Just going to show you a few highlights before we go to the break of the first 5 ends of this game. This is end 3.
Performance. 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 Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
Are we back on yet? So here we are, sixth end of play in this women's championship final. The score of 5-3 for Team Wallingford. Wallingford does have the hammer in the sixth end.
And we had predicted at the beginning of this game, Mary, that it would be really close. And it was just an unfortunate timing for Jess Murphy's. Her rock slipped to the back of the rings and gave up that steal of three, but it would have been a much different ball game if it had stopped for shot.
Yeah.
It's always tough dropping a three, but on the other hand, we have a 10-end game, and there's still half a game to go.
Exactly. She's only down 2 points. I know she's in a steal situation right now. It can be done.
We've got two good guards set up, so big draw round for second Danielle Hudson. It's funny because you often talk about the leads needing to have good draw weight, but in fact, when it comes down to the wire on games or when you're needing to generate a steal, it's oftentimes the second who has to place the perfect rock. So we're going for the double, but a single peel in this case is completely fine. Going for the draw in behind the top guard. Need to bury a good one here. Just even biting top four is great. That's that spot, Mary, where we've really seen the rocks swoop in. And though at least, again, you talk tolerances, and to be light, completely fine in this case.
Yeah, if I'm Team Murphy, I'm okay with this situation.
Double, it got jammed on the rock in the back of the house, but you're still going to see Team Murphy placing some guards up there. There's not quite a strong steal situation set up yet. Good brush. There's still a double here. I mean, that's always a challenge when one of your rocks is a halfway guard, Mary.
Yes. So just a single peel. The only thing that worries me about putting, I'm thinking maybe it's time to come into the house, only because if you set up a double peel and they make it, your end's done. It's gone.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think maybe it's time to come in around that guard.
I'm with you, Mary.
Yeah.
I mean, that guard is in a great place to come around
It
right
is.
now.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to need to come around it, so you might as well start learning how to right now. And this is the difficulty, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, so this one just came in. Let's have a listen to what the girls say.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, like those paths that we haven't broken in a lot aren't super, super slaggy, right?
Hard, you got it.
Stick the second one, I think.
Nope, another missed double attempt.
Wasn't that thin?
Okay, Jess, I think you got to come in there now. Please.
Yeah, you just got a little wider on your second.
They're laughing here. They're saying I should call a timeout.
Guess technically it doesn't matter who signals it behind the glass. It always has to come from the ice. So
I am a certified coach. I'm allowed.
I like her choice of turn, Mary, just because if she happens to leave part of the rock open, at least it will be on the outside rather than the inside. If she took the other turn and didn't quite bury, she could leave a double for Team Wallingford.
You're right, and if she comes the other way, she could also leave. If she leaves it half out, they could actually hit it and roll behind their corner. So I like this as well.
Room. Yeah. Whoa then. Just make it a tough double peel. Whoa. No.
The tough thing when you're down is that you don't have any room for error.
I know.
Just a hair wider.
When you're down, you have to play extra good to try to get back into the game.
But I don't mind this. Yeah.
Make more precision shots.
Yeah, that makes sense. 16.8.
Line's good.
Looks like it's curling, eh?
Whoa, room. Switch. Hard, Lane. Gotta finish it, Lane. Line's really good. Finish it, Lane. Hard, all you got. Got a good one. Yep, hold there, you got it. Yep. Hard. Great throw, Ann.
That really was a great throw to get it mostly buried.
Good. Nice.
I think we gotta go a hair wider, eh? You think so? I don't think it'll be faster.
No. I don't think it'll be coming off as crazy as that.
Okay.
And here we can see a replay of the shot and just how nicely it finished.
What? Oh, okay.
And timeout called by Team Murphy.
I probably have a third. A third? Dang, quarter.
I think it's there.
So what, do this? With like board?
I mean, just 11 though? What does that have to do? I think it'll curl a little bit.
So the coaches do have to, we're on sheet 7 here, they do have to enter through sheet 1, so that gives the players a few extra minutes to chat.
I think max I'd like to throw is 11.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Dennis?
Well, I think if you draw to where you just pointed, they're going to come down lightweight, tap they're right onto you and tap you out, right? If you really want to play the draw, you've almost got to come to the back 4.
Oh, okay.
The other option is to just play a lightweight hit, take it out, roll out. And
That's what we were talking to.
So, which do you like better?
Which do you like better?
I think I'm partial to the lightweight tapping it out of the rings kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think, yes. Then she has to hit it stick.
What weight?
Right? Right?
What weight do you like?
I think like hack tops.
Hack tops? Okay, we were saying 11 tops, so I like board.
Board?
Yeah.
Okay, I like
Do you like board?
I like board.
Because I think I can see just a quarter, right?
Go to quarter.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Good girl.
Do you like this broom, Dennis? Sorry, before you run away. Do you like this broom?
Inch more.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Dennis said.
Yeah, so you can tell the team has a lot of respect for their coach and really listening to his input and wanting to know exactly
I don't think we're ever
what he's thinking, and you can see he took it to heart. So
just want to hit.
And I do like the change in this decision.
very much so. The 2 shot options that they talked about were either the shot they're playing or a come around, that one in the top 4, but coming around it with the out turn, and that would be so that you wouldn't get it fully buried and sitting shot. So you'd leave a piece out, but if they had played the other way, it would have been a much easier shot for Team Wallingford to just tap theirs back into the Murphy Stone. So great use of the timeout.
Close. Yeah. Close. Whoa. 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 Yeah. Whoa. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it.
Nice.
Nice shot. Yeah, the coach giving himself a pat on the back. He's on fire was the comment.
Way to go, Coach. Coach made that shot.
Hey.
So that forces the Wallingford team to have to draw for a single.
Felt like a little more, guys. Felt like more. It's a little wider.
out here, definitely. 14-6.
Is it gonna sit? Hard. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
And it hung on to the back 4-foot for the single. So Team Wallingford up 6-3 over Team Murphy after 6 ends of play. Team Murphy will have hammer in N7. Let's watch a replay of this rock there. Tense moments. Grace was quite convinced that it was all there.
Yeah.
But definitely worth a sweep.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a success, I would say, for the Murphy team, forcing Wallingford to a point. Now the deficit is just 3, and she has hammer.
And all they need is a 2 here
Yes, exactly.
to get back into the game. You
Ready to go.
take 2 in N7, steal an end 8, or even if you end up forcing them to 1 in end 8, taking 2 and 9, you're all tied up and bam. It's
Right.
just that easy, Mary. The coach says, okay, let's go straight to 10.
It's been a long 4 days. Everybody's getting silly now.
Line's good.
Now a little mistake here from the Wallingford lead.
2.
I'm assuming they wanted that in the house.
Curling nice. Curling
Assume
nice.
so
I
as
think
well.
you can. Keep it going. Yep. Keep it going. Keep it going. Hard, 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 hard. A bit more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. Do you like the out just because it runs nice? 9?
So we affectionately call this the peel of shame. when a lead accidentally drops a rock either up in front of the house or back of the house when they needed to be in top house, and you have to peel your own rock.
Yep.
But what's worse is when you miss the peel.
Hard! We cannot leave a second guard.
And maybe
around.
maybe the curling gods heard that comment, but it's a shot that you have to make. But still, they got it out of the middle of the ice, and they're starting to eliminate more rocks.
Line's good. 6. Line's good. Switch. Stand first. 6. Curling really hard now. 5-5. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
Great draw behind. What was also good about that is they slightly overburied and started to get buried in behind the red rock. So Wallingford will be going for potentially even the double peel here, but they want to ensure of the single.
No. Sure. Okay. Put that one
And
back.
that's what they needed.
2. Line's good. Line's good. Curling nice. Yeah, keep it going a little more. A little more. That's good, that's good. Whoa, 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 whoa. You have this?
Small over curl. They have half a rock. Yeah, it's worth it to go after this rock in the house, and if you clip the guard, that's perfectly okay.
Time.
We have a timeout called by Coach Doug Krviazik, and then of course called officially from the ice. Coaches will be making their way onto the ice surface. What are your thoughts in this case, Mary?
I think he might tell her to just strictly go for the peel.
And do it.
I can't see what else he would possibly say.
We're getting in trouble, yeah. Yeah. Like the doubles, doubles really tough. It looks easier from the other end.
I mean, if they could ever
Yeah.
double, well, they're not in as great a position anymore, but doubling those out would be ideal, and it may run back into the rings.
Yes.
Okay.
So just rip it and keep ripping and keep ripping.
Who's okay here?
I wouldn't really say that because
I mean, I'd rather not, but
Short and sweet timeout. They called the peel.
They call it the peel. Yeah.
It's a good point because that rock's not going anywhere, and eventually they could even leave it in a spot where there's more of that double peel situation I mentioned before. They keep throwing up the guard and double peel, even possibly sending their rock back into the rings. So
Yeah. I think Doug said to them, as long as they keep peeling these guards up, just keep peeling them.
Reach. Line's good. Really nice.
on the trillium. Good. Great. Yeah. Yep.
Again, the perfect corner guard. So as per Coach Doug, they will continue to peel these guards out.
Nope. 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 Yep. Nope. Come on, get it.
they're looking for it.
Yeah. You know, Danielle, what
Back
I
again.
find about actually commentating at these events
Don't hit me.
is how much
Fine.
we can learn up here. We're watching every single game, every single rock. We're, you know, sitting behind some pretty experienced coaches.
2. Line's okay. Room.
That's for sure. You
Line's
want to
good.
take every opportunity as a learning
Stay
opportunity.
with
Yes,
the hill. You're curling
exactly.
early. You're fine. Clean to stop.
Whoa. Clean to stop. Clean to stop. Good. Good one.
Good rock guy.
They'll have another crack at that single peel for sure, and even looking for the double.
No. I started it. No. Okay.
I was just trying it. I knew we were going to feel.
Again?
Look really good.
It did look like she had started. She over-rotated it a bit, but she had enough weight, and it was still... Well, obviously, the way the rock moved, it was a pretty clean throw.
Yeah.
3. Same. Little more. Little more. 3.
Jess will continue to put up some guards, and the next couple of shots, if they keep
Unless
peeling
you're
them,
going
she's
here,
probably
but-
going to draw open side.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Be too dangerous to try anything around that red corner.
Just grouping the rocks, and that's a fairly short run back.
Yeah.
Play it over the top, and even if it sticks
Really thin.
Oh, we're not going to play
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to make sure that we stick it because 3/4 might spin it back in. You know what I mean?
What?
If we hit 3/4, it's going to spin back in the house.
Okay.
A little more than.
Less than 3/4?
A little more than. Yeah, like half at least.
Okay.
It's not going to go over. We have to just jam it. So we're not trying to double. No. Well, like, we have to hit it thin. We have to make sure we hit it thin.
8, right?
Yes. If it's over curling, we got to hit close to nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to be careful about the angle that they hit this yellow one in. You've heard them speak 3/4, and that will spill the yellow in.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Well, now this is a different situation, Mary. Because of where they've left their shot, they can now, Murphy can now come around it.
Yeah, if she wants to try to score 3 points here, this is the way to do it.
Mine crashed.
I mean,
when
it's
we came
slightly
off this
risky.
hill,
She
so let's
could
take
set up
right there.
some sort of a
Should
double,
ride until, like,
but no risk, no reward, I guess. She's down 3 points.
just after this OCA.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely want
Another
to
one around?
bury it behind,
Yeah.
preferably above the tee, but like you said, Mary, you can't set up a double, so sucking it in behind the yellow one is plan B.
Mine's good.
Stay close.
Yep. 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 Yes.
Room. Line's good.
Stay close. Whoa. Lots of room.
Right around.
Yep. 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 Whoa.
No, you're on it. Frozen only. Whoa.
What a really nice shot. Perfect weight. I mean, there is a run back double there, but
Yeah.
she's got to make it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Can you see any of this?
It's too tight.
5-4.
We do have a half a rock available, but even with the half a rock, it's jamming all day, so if they can make the run, they'll. That would be a huge turning point.
It would.
I mean, it's going to be a turning point either way.
Yes. Pretty much if she can hit this on the nose, she will get both of the rocks in the house.
They're playing some good tight ice, negative ice in this case. They know they can sweep it out if need be.
Going to need some good solid weight here too.
Gotta go, Hannah.
We're gonna bring it out.
Hard. Gotta go.
Hard.
Hard. You got it.
Hard.
Got it, girl.
Really nice shot by Emma.
Should we take you one? Like we have to.
Okay. Same weight. That's what I did in the first one, so I was like,
I'm going to have just a quick look at this shot again.
I think take one and steal an 8.
Just like we said, she had to throw pretty solid weight on this rock.
We're down 3. I
Sweepers
don't
held
think
it for
Blake
sure.
does much better.
good
And
sweep.
she makes the run back double. And now Justin is going to
Take a single point.
Yes.
Well, they're realizing there's a couple. I think their thought process here is that they're getting down in the ends. They take one now, steal 8, steal 9. Well, steal 10 is what they're going to have to do.
So
But player preference, I might be throwing this through, though, at this point and going for a deuce in end 8,
Yeah.
steal in end 9, and then steal in 10.
Yeah, I think I would blank it as well.
But I mean, if you're a team who likes stealing and that's your
been
preference,
a better
then
path on
by
the
all
first one.
means. So that's single point for the Murphy team in N7. It's the Wallingford team with a 6-4 lead and the hammer in end 8.
Thanks.
And Mary, in this type of situation, I stated my preference on how I might have played out the last couple ends. All went to plan, but what are your thoughts?
As far as the Murphy team?
As far as taking one in that end versus trying to go for your deuce in 8.
No, you know what? There was a few years ago where teams thought that was the route to go. But I don't know. I still
good.
think if you can blank the end and keep hammer at any time.
Whoa, early.
You don't
Line's good.
really
Line's
see
good.
any of
One.
the elite teams doing that. Like, you know, throughout the whole
Curling
Roar of the
lots
Rings,
now.
I never ever saw
Hard.
a teams, elect to do that.
Keep going. Hard.
Well, they almost got a 3 when they had hammer there.
Well,
so
exactly. That's a good point.
I'm really kind of surprised, but on the other hand, I can maybe get the fact that the term that I'm thinking of is stop the bleeding. So momentum has been completely in Wallingford's camp since N3.
Yeah.
And being down 3 can seem very daunting. So it's all about perspective, really.
Should I go through?
It is, but being down 3 is daunting when you don't have the hammer.
This is true,
and the hammer is just huge.
They shouldn't really be that scared down 3. Now, depending on the end, of course, but still feel that N7 and a 10 end game, you have some time.
Yep.
Same path.
We talked about earlier too.
Holding it straight. Line's good.
When you're down, you just need to make all of your shots. There's not a ton of room for error.
Yeah. Like, Justin made that really nice draw around the corner guard to set them up for a 3-ender. She made it perfect. Yeah. And then you have to hope you get a break.
I'm sorry. I like the out, Em. Okay, just straight up. But it stayed out there a lot longer than my first. Whoa. Linz, you're really close. Make it curl. Hard, Linz, you got it. Yep. Hard, Linz, hard. Okay. Make sure it's through, Em. Make sure it's through. Hard, Emma. All right.
And that's the way to
Tight
miss
one.
a tick, really.
3.
You got to throw enough weight so that if you happen to miss the rock that you're trying to tick, that it goes through.
Yeah. Like it looked like headache. Might just be any outward motion. Line's good. 2, 3, 2. Yep. 2. Yeah, line.
We can get it past.
Hard.
2, 1.
Hard.
1.
Keep it going.
You got it. Fast. You got
Yep.
it. Come on.
Right
Fast,
past
fast,
it.
right.
Keep it going.
Fast, right. You got it.
Make a real nice
Fast,
one.
fast,
Yeah.
fast. Keep
That's
going.
good. Splitting center's good. Nice.
It'll go. Kale.
straight up.
They wanted more separation on those guards, as now the double is available for Team Wallingford.
No, no. Do we have one? No. Do we have one? Nice shot, Lynn. Just watch the set a little. You did set it wide. It curled. I didn't think we had it.
A great double there is really going to make it tough for the Murphy team to now get a steal aside from a flat out miss.
Mm-hmm.
We've just been going across the top a lot. A little more. 2, 3.
Line's good. 2. Running. 2. Line's good. Trying. Yeah, it's curling now.
2.
Yep. Line's great. Nice.
Good rock.
17 there.
It's going to look a little bit like Groundhog Day, I imagine, for the next few rocks. We're going to see the Murphy team putting a guard up, the Wallingford team playing appeal, and and short of any miss, this is what it's going to look like for the next few rocks.
Hard. Hard roll, right up. Good, Lynn. Good, Lynn. What? Just curls it. I threw well.
So an interesting fact for you, Mary.
Oh,
we have
okay.
Jerry Gertz, runs Curling Zone, and he's our stats guy,
Line's
and
good.
he chimed
Hair
in
tighter
saying
than Dan.
we were having our debate about
Yep.
taking one or
Right.
blanking the end, and according to Jerry, statistically it's no different. Down 2 without with 3 ends to play is about 11.4% chance, while down 3 with is 10.3, and that's in junior women's play in the last 4 seasons. So thank you very much, Jerry, for that stat.
Yes, thank you, Jerry, for making me look wrong.
I was with you, Mary.
Yes, you were. We love Jerry. Jerry is a stats guy. If you need any stat, that's where you go.
Yep. So then, basically, what does ring true is what we mentioned
I
about.
think a hair
That
on
means
this
it's
side of center's
team
our best
preference.
chance.
Yeah.
So
2 inches more ice.
Same
Line's
weight.
good.
2, 3.
Line's real nice.
2.
Little bit. Curling earlier.
2.
So this Wallingford team
Line's
lost
good.
the final of this
Whoa,
last
stop.
year.
2, 3.
Whoa, line's really good. We want it to stop.
and
2
they,
of the 4. Okay.
and the other 2 were the ones who won it.
Okay.
So
That's right.
if you can't beat them, join them. But truly, what happened is the other 2 players. The one other player aged out,
Right.
Haley Armstrong, and talked about her earlier. She'll be at the Ontario Scotties. And so a team with much experience. The Wallingford team also played in a few women's events this season as well, and I think Jess did as 2. And it's a great way to get experience to play up an age bracket.
I think we crossed center.
Because it's a slightly different game when you play up. So you had some teams playing in the under 18 category, playing under 21, and some of the under 21 teams playing up until the adult ranks.
Perfect. Not a big press.
Little wide.
Line's good.
We were having a chat with one of the skips here this week on her way out
Line's
today.
okay.
And
Line's good.
Throwing nice.
she's moving up to the women's bracket.
Cross center a bit. Keep
I asked her
going,
if she's
keep
going to
going.
continue to play, and she says she would like to.
Going.
She doesn't know how to get the word out there. And that's the thing, right? When you're moving up into the ladies circuit, you might not have a lot of connections. That's where social media comes in handy.
It's true.
Yeah.
Social media, and then also what's big is exactly what these teams have done and played in some of this field, so some of the women start to become familiar with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen into this debate going on with the Wallingford team.
I said I don't like blanking, but I like taking one. So I think we rip the guard. If she might freeze to this or whatever, and then we just take her one. Okay, so just rip it.
Sure.
It doesn't move. It might even fall a hair.
Okay.
What'd you say, sorry?
Yeah, they have to rip
8.
this guard. They're
Yeah.
A
they
little soft is okay.
there is
It's
that
not
red
soft,
rock
but
in the
down
back,
because
and
it
it's not in the
doesn't move
house,
here.
but
Even 3-8.
they know she'll freeze too. But
It's
they're
probably close because there's.
they're happy taking their one. So even if she's frozen to it, it's only just in the 12-foot.
Yeah, she's got to remember she was ripping the guard the entire end. Why stop now? There was a purpose to it.
Exactly. And you've seen the teams get together at the end of each end, and they're talking about what they want out of the end, what they'll accept, and what they don't want to have happen. So if they want one, they just have to keep on the path.
Hard, Rutland. All the way up, Lynn.
They took here with more
Sorry,
rotation.
guys. I just didn't have a good slide there. It's not a good slide. You can't be wide there, so.
Yeah, I think 3-8's okay because we have less rotation, so theirs would run a little further. 4-2 would be short. 8 to it, it's back 12.
So this is Team Murphy's last rock of the 8th end. They're playing a freeze on the rock in just behind the back of the rings.
Pretty big ad.
Doug doesn't call a timeout. You throw it.
9-10.
Line's good.
You like the draw?
Whoa, line's real nice.
Even if we blank, that's fine. Yes.
10!
Yes.
We can't give up a steal if we
Yes.
blank.
Hard.
Hard!
Yes, right.
Hard, keep going, yeah!
Right, all the way. Far as it goes, far as it goes. Keep going, Ryan. Keep going. Far. Okay.
That's a great line. Just needed about 4 feet
You
more
like mine
weight.
with tight ice, though, like here, just so we don't hit the outside.
Sure. Just hit for one.
Do you just signal like that we're sticking it?
Making it very clear that they are playing it to stick it.
I like it. We have a whole house to roll to.
You like 9?
Yes. Yeah.
So they're choosing to hit and stick in the rings, Danielle?
They are.
Okay.
We just can't hit the outside, so I think this is good. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hard. 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 Should be good, Em. Good. Nice shot, Em.
And they do stick it. So Team Wallingford is leading 7-4 over Team Murphy. Team Murphy will have the hammer in N9.
We're gonna get the chance again. Let's use both corners.
Just having another look at that shot.
Stay for us again.
She actually almost did
This
blank
is
it
less than I
without
was doing
trying.
before.
But she does
Should be a
take
good
her
pass.
point. And that's
got
what
it.
she chose to do.
Yes. What did you get on that?
Line's good. We're in a really good path. It's running. It's running. Really good path.
It's there. We're back.
Okay, right back.
We are through.
Through. I don't care.
We're through.
Keep going. That's fine. It's really scary to throw the first one because the guard's really bad. I don't even mind that because if you ever try a double or something, there's a one less rock to jam on. Line's nice. Yeah, early. Keep it straight a little more. You're good now. Line's real nice. Yep. Good one. Grace, do you think we should just go through?
I don't mind top floor.
I don't think it helps us to keep a rock in play.
I think it does, and they have to make the hit and roll.
Okay.
I'm actually agreeing with Emma on this. I think that any rock that they leave in play is going to help Jess. I mean, if anything, you want to put your first in.
Same path.
Possibly. And if you could get a second
Same
one in,
path.
that's when you really make it hard. But
Whoa, it looks there. Starting to curl a little bit more.
one in, or you
it's
try to throw your
it's
first in
picking.
if you happen to screw it up.
Keep going off the sheet.
Oh,
the sheet.
jeez.
Keep going. In.
Oh, wow.
That's the first really bad pick we've seen all week, Danielle.
It is. That stopped me in my tracks and my
Yeah.
words there. That was unfortunate timing, and really the place it went to is just 100% working for
Real big press.
For the
Team Murphy.
team,
Yeah.
Big
Well, what
ass.
I was going to finish saying is that you put
Really
your
big
first one
ass.
in. If you make it great, that's great. If you somehow mess it up, you can at least peel it or change it. So, and well, that's a prime example. Something happens on your second lead rock and
Good.
can't change it.
Good one.
Yeah, I liked the throw through. Got 3 points in the night.
16 there, so that's
They're really running straight here.
Okay.
Stop.
Yep. Hard out. That looked like it grabbed something.
And they got it right out. That's what they need to do.
Put it up again.
Okay.
It goes pretty wide, I thought.
Pretty nice here now.
So they can keep putting up again, but I'd suggest very soon they need to
I'll give
start
you a
playing the
little
house.
left.
They have
It's a
two
little scary.
corners up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think if she'll put one more up here, and then I think she needs to start coming into the house.
Use the rocks that are in play.
Hard. Line's fine. Line's good now. Not curled yet. Clean. Yeah.
Well, it's so tough when you already have two rocks in play not to set up a place where you're going to leave a double. And it's a double available here, as you can see from that angle. Then you're working with only one guard.
Exactly.
Left. Clean. No. Yep. Get it, Hannah, get it.
Good.
And exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
The
Back on
well,
this
first
side.
of all, great double peel.
Nice and
but
tight. 3.
one of the first things they teach about strategy to
Yeah, I was like,
curlers is so when you talk about how do you generate a deuce, what do you need? How many guards do you need? And the answer, in very simple terms, is you only need one. One to hide behind, and if you get behind that guard, they keep peeling the guard. You keep putting up the perfect guard on top of that. In a perfect world,
It's going
they'd
sideways.
peel the last one, and then you have a draw for 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Still
So
like tight though.
it's better than 2 guard or 1 guard 2.
Ticking now. It's ticking now.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Well,
whoa,
and she
whoa,
already
whoa,
had
whoa.
2 guards up, and 2 guards can generate a 3-point. So
They might also be driven by the fact that they're down 3, which again they were in this position 2 ends ago, and it's not a bad position since they have hammer. They only need 2.
Right.
3 would be great, of course, but you only need 2.
yeah,
Yep. You really have to go. Hard, you gotta go. Hard, you gotta
I got it.
well, we got a miss there.
All right.
Did I just not set that, Em?
I think so,
Do you
yeah.
like this side?
Pardon?
I think so.
I just didn't set it. Okay, draw.
How do you think this is gonna run? Like Danielle's?
I think it's gonna be pretty swoopy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Line's good.
9,
Line's real nice.
9, 10.
Whoa.
No, 9, 7.
Curling now. Dan first. No, line's really good. Dan first still. 7. Yep. Yep. Yep, bury it. Go, go, go. A little more. Nice.
Great patience on that line
know,
gall
you-
too.
14,
Perfect
4.
shot. So Emma's just going to peel this guard.
Yep. Hard. Good.
Yeah, it just swings a lot more there. Close.
I like the guard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come around.
Yeah.
Can you go back 4?
Yep.
I like them going for this as well.
I do too.
Key is to get this buried. If they could put it even with their other rock in the house, that would be best, but it needs to be buried,
Line's good.
or at least partially buried.
Yes, yep. Line's good. Room.
Just curling now. Line's really good. Swooping. Hill, yep.
Can't lose it here.
Yep. Yep.
Got it just in time.
Great shot. 2 beautiful draws.
I need to be able to roll right over him, so I'll throw it solid. You can give me a little less.
9.
Yeah.
As it passed by the guard.
Okay, solid 9. Try and roll it right over. At least a shot.
And it didn't work.
So Emma's just going to hit the open one here. That's the safest shot. She's not going to worry about that one behind the guard.
They can, on the flip side here, Team Wallingford can afford to give up 2, and of course what they want to avoid is a 3-ender. Speaking of Groundhog Day, if she hits this at all, and if they happen to roll out, or Team Murphy throws another one in behind the guard, she has the
Right.
same run back.
It's the same scenario, isn't it?
No. Yep. Roll it, Lynn. Roll it hard, Lindsay.
Yeah, we haven't seen this since the first set.
Yep, so
We've broken it. What? 10? I mean, you can throw 10 and a half if you like that better. I don't mind 10 and a half. Okay, let's do 10 and a half.
So they're playing the shot that's going to basically assure themselves of a deuce as long as they stick around here. The other alternative is to come around the guard, as we talked about, and that brings the 3 into play. But I'm sure they also have the same thoughts that we just discussed. That's a spot that I've seen a very nice run back thrown in before.
Should like to roll right out to the wing.
Well, you had a peel jam there, so that's why I was saying that too.
Well, just clean, Dan. Just clean. Yep. Dan. Yep.
A little bit, yeah. Solid 9.
Good one. Pardon?
I like the
Swoop's
same.
nice.
Didn't we have a bit less than that?
No, we had this much.
Hers didn't curl.
Good one.
I'd like to play it a little aggressively. We're still going to hit it.
Okay.
That's the same ice as I had before, right? Hers didn't move. We're gonna get it. We didn't even sweep the last two. Stay right over there, lazy. It's a catcher, so it's perfectly enough.
Most important was that they made contact with that rock.
It's a little thicker.
But it will be a draw for 2 for Team Murphy.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I think we just could have taken one more. Okay.
One more time. Yeah, this is generous. Just because yours swoops off the hill, it's a later breaking point. But
maybe I just threw the first one a little bit harder.
We know this path really well, eh?
Do you guys do that the first one a little harder? Do you do the first one harder?
Wide right now. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it.
Can't hurt it. Line's good.
Running.
Line's good.
Running. Can't hurt it, Rye. Can't hurt it. 4-9. Great weight, Jeff.
Good.
And that's a deuce for Team Murphy, and they are closing the gap. But it's Team Wallingford up 1, 7-6, going into the 10th end, and it'll be Team Wallingford with the hammer as well.
Steal this one.
Now we know.
Which do you prefer?
No, we tried it with the outcome last time. We just gotta watch.
You know what I've admired this whole game, Mary, is the composure that the Murphy team has had. They got down
Change your mind, just tell me.
when they gave a big end and they got down. There was never a hint of frustration, and it was all we've been hearing is positive comments and comments about getting themselves back into the game.
Yeah, I noticed that as well a couple of ends ago when things weren't really going their way. They were having a little chat on the sidelines and laughing. You know, a lot of people would be very frustrated or upset.
Line's good.
And you know, there's going to be many times in
Line's nice.
a curler's
Roll
life
if
when
you
you're
can
going to
for
be
a sec.
down points or losing,
break.
and they
Breaking
are
now.
really
Breaking now.
finding a way to get back into it is so key. So whoever goes on to represent Ontario really needs to keep that in mind
Nice
and
one. Real nice.
recognize that there are going to be difficult times and find ways
You don't
to
have
work
to move
through
it very
them.
far. You don't have to
Exactly.
throw it a lot of weight.
And especially at a long week like the U21 Nationals. It's a week-long event here, and they'll be in Shawinigan, Quebec. They need to be prepared for that.
Yes.
So hoping that both teams are
You have to hit it really thin.
ready and
Yep.
prepared.
Trying
Hard!
the tick shot here.
Hard! Hard! Red, red, red. Nice shot, Hannah. Right up, right up, right up. Yep, yep, yep. Atta girl. Yep.
Very nice tick
Nice
shot.
and high again.
Yep.
A hair deeper. We can get them to tick it again and have more to jam on.
Yep.
Same pass.
It actually curls.
Soft handle, guys. Line's good.
Yeah, so it's down.
Line's real nice. Starting to curl a little. Right here. Right here. Yep. Gotta go.
Yep.
Gotta go. Nice.
Great
Good
guard.
one.
Great job replacing it. Yeah, these shots seem really straightforward
I'd say just go
to,
with the same
to
hand.
possibly anybody behind the glass or behind a screen today, but when it comes down to pressure shots to potentially go and represent your province at a national championship, no shot is easy.
That's for sure, Danielle. We're sitting back here all relaxed watching the game, but you know, they've got the butterflies out there.
Lynn's close.
And those shots are not as
Lindsay,
easy as they
Lindsay,
look.
Lindsay. Yeah, just right through.
Right through. You gotta go right
It's through, it's through. It's just a lot of weight. Okay. No, I think it's just the weight, honestly.
Probably halfway. Okay. That's probably halfway. Right through.
3.
Okay.
Even 4 right now is fine, just to get separation.
Yep.
I'm glad Justin has chosen to call it in the house, or at least very tight, and not just calling another guard.
The key to this is separation.
Yeah.
Line's real nice.
4.
Close, right.
So.
Yeah. Line, hard.
Hard line.
Hard line.
Hard line. Line only.
Hard. You're by. Make it real good. 4, 5.
On its own.
Okay, well. Sorry, ticking that was death.
Yep.
Alrighty, good.
And separation they got.
Yes, it's a little deep, but I don't mind where it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Clean. Yep.
Yep, yep. Gotta drag it out. Gotta drag it out, Hannah. Gotta drag it out, Hannah. Gotta drag it out.
It should be good. It's good.
Oh, a nice peel.
It's straight there. It's good.
Put the guard back.
You could hear a pin drop in here right now.
2.5.
All the nervous friends and family.
Yeah.
One, two.
2. Line's good.
1.
Whoa.
1.
Switch then.
1.
Yep. Yeah, keep going. Curling hard now, at least splitting center. Keep going, Hill, all you got. Go, 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 a little more. A little more. Nice.
Do you think we go after this? It is behind T line. Hey.
I would say they came to the right conclusion.
Yeah, I think so.
Are they calling a timeout or no?
I mean, if this continues the way it's going to play out, guard peel, guard peel, guard peel until Jess is last, and she'll, I imagine, put in the rings and force Wallingford to make a double. So.
Yeah, she might even put a tight guard on that and force her to draw
Put
the
guard
button.
back.
This is true too.
Right?
You know what? That's a good point, Mary.
Yeah.
It's what do you want to leave your
Right.
opposition?
Yeah, and I'll tell you that Wallingford skip, she can hit very well. I'm not saying she can't draw, but she can definitely hit. I'm not sure when she's thrown a draw in the last few ends. So
Line's good.
That's a really good
right
point.
now.
mhm.
Whoa, right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
4.
Curling a little.
4.
Whoa.
Don't want this too tight.
3.
Whoa.
All right, good. 8. This way.
Because now, as you
Can
can
you
see,
my broom, okay?
there's possibility of playing the run right now.
Yeah, wants to peel first, but she's going to be looking at the double as well.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Ooh. Great shot.
Great shot, and that could even be a game winner right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where's the best spot, you think?
Probably there. My side of center. Yeah. Yeah. Little more. Line's good. 3 more. Little more. 4.
You be in? Can you be in?
You can be.
Dan first. Yep.
It's full 12.
That's full 12. I want it full 12. Full 12. It's good. It's good.
So their approach, and I like this too, is putting it full 12, and they're hoping that there might be some sort of an error by the Wallingford team, and they'll stick there. Even if it's a really tight guard, they can use it.
Oh, clean. Just clean.
That's not ours.
Yep. Clean. Had a girl.
But they make no mistake.
Can you have some common words for me, please? Just have to know where the best spot is, right? Like, they're still going to play the right turn, right? Like, they're not going to get much, but because we had mine here in the 8th, and it never wanted to cross.
Okay.
Just a guard again. We think we want to cross center, right? Like if we get it on our in turn, but. Okay.
At this point, they're trying to put the rock in the place where they think might be a tougher shot for Emma to throw. That's just based on what they've seen and what they've seen playing against her.
Not a big
Little
press.
wide. Dry. Yeah.
Curling now.
The out turn.
Really curling. Really curling, Rye. Yep, 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 Rye, yep. Keep going going across. Yep, Rye, yep, 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 yep. All you got, Rye, all you got. Keep going, a little bit more, a little more. Good spot.
Close. Good one.
8. A little soft's okay. It
Good one.
doesn't curl here. I'm gonna take my time, okay?
Yep.
You can hold it here, Hannah. Yep.
Hard!
You got it.
That was great brushing to hold that.
You think this swing? Okay. Yeah, we threw almost here, right? What was it? So we gotta go, yeah, it really swoops here, help.
Yeah. Like if I can throw the out turn.
Okay, let's just take center line.
Yep. Probably like 4-9. Yeah, like that.
Justin's going to try to put this as much behind those corners as she can. There's not much space there at all. And if she happens to do that, then Emma would have to draw.
You know that Emma's first instinct is going to be to hit.
Yes.
And overheard her and Grace having a discussion about what to do if there is part of the rock exposed,
What was that last one?
if it's not fully buried. And it seems like they've come to the conclusion of the draw, last we heard. But I think the shot made first. So last rock for Justin Murphy in end number 10.
Straight. Stand first. Stand first. Really running, guys. Yep, Dan, yep. Yep, Dan. Yep. Keep going. Yep. All you got. Keep going to T. Keep going. Okay.
Nice weight. I think she just took a little too much ice. She was scared that was going to curl.
I mean, that's the point where you can't be scared.
Yes.
You have to commit.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's going to be an open hit for the win for Team Wallingford.
And the beauty of this is she doesn't even have to stick around.
It's really nice here. Yeah.
You don't have to throw more than a 9, but quite often, I'm sure Emma's heart is being over chest. It's going to be some solid weight.
Adrenaline.
Clean it.
And with that hit, it is Team Wallingford who is heading to the U21 National Championship in Shawinigan, Quebec.
Really well played game by the Wallingford team. Look at them, very excited right now.
It's such a great feeling, especially when it's made on a made shot.
It is, yeah. Great for them. Just want to send out a reminder to everyone at home that this is our final draw of the U21s. It's been a pleasure, and we will be streaming the Ontario Ladies Scotties Tournament of Hearts, which is coming up January 10th. You can watch it all on TitleSportsLive.ca.
So thank you so much for joining us all week from the Annandale Golf and Country Club. We for our coverage of the 2017 Ontario U21 Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On. On behalf of Mary, myself, and our entire TSL crew, we wish you a good evening from Andale Golf and Curling Club. This has been a presentation of Title Sports Live.